Today, October 12th, 2023, I really believe time is of the essence with this matter. And I think it's not really a civil matter. I think it's a criminal matter with the Alaska Legislature, the socc committee, new members, obviously the governor's office, and how that all went down without the due process, the restructuring last spring, and then the subsequent legislative raises, which are unprecedented and are not in line with the same rate of the raise for the governor's office and the other committees. So, the others were raised 2% from the last salary increase. Like I said, we did the math on that yesterday on Twitter, and that would indicate, 2% times 50,400, which is what they were making before, 0.02 times that, it comes out to be $1,008 per year. 13 years have elapsed from 2010 to 2023, and thus 1,008 times 13, and you got about a little over $13,000 in terms of the amount that should be added to the salary that they were currently making, which was 50,400 or something like that. So you're making a little over 62,000 for the actual salary. And, for their discussion in their meeting, their 15-minute, unannounced, no agenda meeting last spring for that SOCC committee after the restructuring, right, they talk about cost of living. Well, cost of living should be in per diem, which is a separate thing than the salary. So, they have no experience, in terms of those new members doing what they did, and they did it wrong. And not only not wrong process, but they just verbally, when they talked about it in the meeting, they don't seem to have a grasp on the fundamental basic tenets of how, that compensation is composed for those Alaska state-based legislators, the House of Representatives and the Senators. So, it's something that needs to get corrected. And I really do think, this is not something where myself or other people need to stand up against these corrupt, political officials who are taking bribes, and doing this multilateral, illegal bribe scheme. It's something where there needs to be criminal consequences for these guys. The avenue to correct it has been laid out. You can see the letters that I sent to them. They need to have another SOCC meeting with, over a minimum of 20-day public notice. They need to announce it, they could do that even before the session. Everyone needs to be present. They need to take written testimony. They need to take verbal testimony on the phone, and in-person testimony. They need to, have a full day set aside. The legislative also has to do due process for public participation and the appropriate timeline.